As much as it's not good to hate on yourself, it's very important to grieve and understand this thing is something that happened to you. Also understand the fact that the commitment that you made was exploited. It's not based on you. You made this commitment and there's nothing wrong with that. Being a person who sticks by your word and what you believe in is nothing wrong. But the fact that you're exploited and lied to and manipulated through this whole process is the problem. Molweni, Molweni, and welcome to another Mahle Matola video. Please like and subscribe, as it costs you absolutely nothing and helps this message get to as many people as possible. But let's get straight into this video, as these are things that I'm going through and I hope you guys can relate. If you can't relate, please share. You don't know. You absolutely don't know if this is something that could help omnye umdu who's going through the exact same situation as I'm going through. But these are my tips as to how to rebuild your life after leaving a cult. If you don't know my story, please watch one of my first videos where I speak about how I left a cult, a Korean cult, but I am South Africa, guys. How only Lord knows how they got here, but this is my story and I hope this is helpful to somebody. And yeah, let's get into this video. Number one, please do research. Research, guys. Research is so important, because when you insult a cult, what you believe is what you hear, and what you hear all the time is the same thing, so you start believing it like more and more. Like if faith deep and deeper and deeper into what they believe in, and it becomes your reality, and it's not the world's reality and not necessarily the truth even. So do as much research as possible. Funda incwadi, go on, read books. I didn't read books, but I encourage people who like reading to read books. What I did is watch a lot of YouTube videos about ex-cult members. I watched Jace's video. I watched there's this guy called Lloyd Evans as well. I watched what's her name? Faith. I forgot her name. I think her name is Faith something. I'll quickly post the link in the description, but she was very helpful in terms of understanding how I was manipulated, you know, and so forth and so forth. But do as much research as possible. The reason research is important is because you make your own choice. When you're in a cult, there's so many right now izinto that come from other people. So many voices influence your decision making of staying there, of how you even got there. Abanye abantu were manipulated, other people were born in such families, but the point of the matter is you don't really feel like you have a choice other than to stay. Yabo? So when you do your own research, you can choose to stay or you can choose to leave. You know, the most important thing is understanding that you were manipulated and you were lied to. And when you understand how you were lied to, that makes it a bit easier to leave as well. So do as much research as possible. Read articles. I would suggest read articles, watch videos, books, documentaries. Whatever you can find, do as much research. I think I mentioned this in one of my past videos, that I'm not necessarily pushing people to leave cults, because guys, it's not a joke. When you decide to leave, it's really not fun, you know, because your identity is stripped away. So you go through quite a lot. So as much research as possible before you decide to leave. And if you have decided to leave, do more research as to finding out how you were lied to. And like, they lie about things like Jesus, they lie about the second coming, they lie things about the Bible, they lie about things such as, you know, the end of the world, whatever. Find out those reasons. How were you lied to? The more you know those things, they will help you when you have left to not go back, and also to be confident in your decision to leave. Yabo? And the second thing, which is very hard to accept, you need to grieve. You need to grieve. The truth of the matter is, there are people, Payana, that are your friends. you have made friends. And it's easy to make friends in a cult because one believes in the same thing. So it's a matter of just getting to know a person on a one-on-one basis. But if majority of the people in your workplace also believed in what you believe in, kuzobalula to gel with them, get along with them, and so forth. So that's the thing with cults. When you leave, it's not just the negative and how you feel and betrayed and so forth, but there's also the positive side of it that is really hard to accept. But how am I leaving? These people were smiling, these people were supportive, these people were always there for me. So please grieve, please be sad, allow yourself to cry, allow yourself to feel all the emotions that you are feeling at the moment. Not that I should be fighting these feelings, I should be fighting these emotions and so forth, which is what I did for a long time, because Shincheonji believes in like your emotions and your desires aren't important. There's a scripture, I think, in James 1 that speaks about how your desires lead to sin and sin leads to death type of vibe. So they also go to Psalms where it speaks about the heart is deceitful above all things, above more things. Like your heart, your feelings, your emotions aren't important. So allow yourself to grieve, allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to be angry at them, allow yourself to be angry at God, allow yourself to be angry with yourself, which is what I did quite a lot. But so grieve, understand that this is something that happened to you. It's not something you chose. Nobody willingly says ndifuna ungena kwi-cult type of situation. This is something that happened to you. It happened to you. Iyenzekile. And there's nothing you can do about it, but you can choose to move forward and move on from it. So grieve, please grieve. I remember I was doing a job and somebody was just like, oh, are you okay, Mahle? And I was on a shoot and I was just like having the worst time because Yonkindo just came flooding in. I was very emotional and I had to keep it together because I was at work. But it was a lot for me. When I got back to where I was staying at the time, I just like bawled out. I was staying at a hotel and I just cried for hours, guys, for hours and hours, and I just cried and I cried and I cried and I cried because I just didn't find. I'm a solution oriented person, so I didn't find a solution. I wasn't understanding how to move forward type of vibe, but that wasn't a time for me to move forward. That was a time for me to cry. Excuse me, there was a time for me to be angry. That was the time for me to grieve. It's a breakup. You are losing people you thought that were family. You're losing spouses. You're losing people that were like very close to your heart. You were praying for, you were close to, that aligned with your vision and who you are at the time. So akomnandi nyani shame. But grieving is not meant to be nice, you know. So number 2, definitely allow yourself to grieve. And don't put a time limit on it. Don't tell yourself, but like, oh, I should be over this by now. I'm still not over it, and I've lived a very long time. I've spoken to people who have lived cults for over 5 years, and they're still not over it. And that's okay. That's okay. Allow yourself to grieve as much as possible. Yeah, bo? Yeah. Now, number 3. 3 is what I am currently struggling with, which is being patient. Take your time. I went to a university called TUT and we used to say TUT, take your time. But definitely take your time. Like there's no destination you're rushing to. Absolutely none. So it's hard. It's very hard because you want to get past it. Whenever something traumatic happens, you want to be over it. You want to recover from it. You want to be healed from it, whatever the case might be. But, this is what I'm struggling with, and it's hard even saying it out loud, but be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. If you are there for 2 years, please acknowledge the fact that it's going to take you time to get rid of their mentality, their theology and ideations and whatnot, their theology, everything that they believe in. So it's going to take time. So be patient with yourself. As I'm saying it, and understand about how I'm the person saying this, because I'm patient. I like things to have order. I need to know if I do 1 and 2 and 3, then 4 will happen type of vibe. But remember that your original self, the person that you are, the person that you were before the cult, is gonna come back eventually. So be kind and be patient with yourself. I think somebody, who's that guy from Prison Break, he mentioned this in an interview, that if he spoke to his friend, his best friend, the way he speaks to himself, it would be a mess. So if I spoke to a friend of mine the same way I speak to myself, that's not something I would do. I wouldn't tell my friend that you're pathetic, you're dumb, how can you fall for this, how can you be so ignorant and naive, how can you be so gullible. Those are not the things I would say to my best friend, you know. So why do we accept that to ourselves? Why do you say that to yourself, you know? So be patient with yourself. Take absolutely your time. I think the last thing will probably be reach out to others. This one is a tricky one because it's not nice. But one of the things that were very helpful to me and so many other people was to reach out to other people that have left the cult, whether it's through Reddit, whether it's through Facebook groups, whether it's through Instagram, whatever the case might be. It was very important for me to know that I am not alone. When you're in a cult, they isolate you so much that they even tell you that you are doomed, you are hated by God, you have betrayed God if you leave. So you believe that Wongumdu has, like, you know that people have left, but like it's not something that they speak about often. So find people who have left, find them on YouTube, find them on Instagram, find them on Reddit, find them wherever you can find them. Find people who have left. The truth of the matter is, you are really not alone. You're not going through this alone. Reach out to me. Like, find other people. Encourage yourself to find other people. Be bold. You have absolutely nothing to lose. Like, you have nothing, absolutely nothing to lose. So reach out to other people and find groups. Just know that you're not in this alone. This didn't happen to you. Unfortunately, you are not the most special person that this has happened to. Like, you're just the only one in the whole world that this has happened to. You are not. Unfortunately, sorry to tell you, you're not that special. God still loves you and you're precious to Him, but you're not the only person this has happened to. So it's not the end of the world. You will be depressed. You will be sad. You will be... I don't think I contemplated suicide, but I was very depressed for a very long time and I was hiding it from people. So I didn't want to tell my family members who didn't know. What the fuck is a cult? How did I get part of it? And so forth. I did not want to go through that whole process. But a person that has gone through the same process as me, I don't have to start from scratch. I just need to tell them, Balak Jonga Sisi, the mess right now. And I don't know what to do. So that's what helped me a lot. But with also that being said, please know, probably number 5, my last tip. I didn't want this to be a long video, but my last tip would have to be, don't expect the people you reach out to do the work for you. You need to do the work for yourself, which means choosing or not choosing to believe in God again. Choosing or not choosing to have faith again, type of situation. They will not give you the answers that you need to confirm your belief, to dispute why you left or why you're deciding to stay. When you reach out to me, I will not confirm or deny why you should stay or why you should leave. I will tell you my experience, and that's about it. The choices for you. The Bible even speaks about we work our own salvation. So you should not expect or rely on somebody else to fix everything for you after you've left. And I wish it did. I really wish it did. When I reached out to a few people, I thought they were gonna help me have everything figured out and I was going to be better after talking to them. But the truth of the matter is, that's not how God works. God is a relational person. He wants to have intimacy with you, wants to have conversation with you, wants you to have your own experiences with him. It's a relationship, you know. And was uti copy and paste the relationship kabani no bani into mine and my person. You can't do that. That's the exact same way God works. You can't copy and paste. You need to have experience, intimacy, and a connection with him that is not necessarily undeniable, but that is just a no babini type of situation, you know. So do not, number 5, my last tip, do not expect people who have left the cult to be your savior. They are not. Now, I am also goishing through the most sometimes. So don't expect me to have all the answers. Don't expect anybody else to have all the answers. And unfortunately, that was also hard for me to accept. But I did as I continued, you know, on my own conversations, venting with God. I think what helped me the most is venting out, being honest. Be very honest. When you're not honest, I won't lie to you, be very honest. Be angry when you're angry. Be happy when you're happy. You might seem like a bipolar person, but that's the honest, genuine, and authentic you at the moment. I think abazalwana banins are very fake and very pretentious, and they do as they see instead of doing as they believe. So when I was angry with God. When I unfortunately was swearing, I was swearing, but I was talking to him rather than encouraging Satan to have influence over my life. I knew who to go to, even in my doubt, and even in my being scared, even in my insecurities, whatever the case might be. But I always went to God with everything that was going on. So I encourage you to do the exact same thing if you have left a cult. I felt very confident in saying that please do not lose faith. Please do not lose your relationship with God, and just be patient with yourself. Do not make any rash decisions apart from leaving a cult. Everything else comes with time, unfortunately. People say time is a good healer, and I agree with that. But you don't even need to put in effort. You don't even need to be intentional. Just give it time. If you just do that, give it time, I promise you, as time goes by, things will become clear. That is the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video gives you light and healing and helps, you know. So if you like the video and you think it's beneficial for you, or for people you know, or for people that in general have been through the same process as I have been, please like. I actually think like as this one. Please like and subscribe to the channel. If you want to share this, please feel free to do that. I love you guys so much, and I appreciate each and every view that I get. Other than that, bye.